Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grim Reaper coming at you for another video for Raid Shadows. Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're looking after yourselves, and hopefully you're having a great start to the weekend wherever you're on the world. Today we have another guest on the channel. It is the one and only Fabian. Fabian is well known for having a big boy hydra key and breaking the record for having Ashna. We're going to show you all the ins and outs. We're going to show you before the buff, we're going to show you after the buff, we're going to break down the runs and show you how it works, and talk about a couple of champions that could be a bit more easier to replicate if you wanted to have a bit more fun in Hydra. We know that the Hydra is a bit of doom and gloom right now, and trying to bring some positivity. So I personally wanted to bring you this myself. Once to see this, I've known Fabian for a very long time. We was clan mates, took him to SP, and yeah, we've known each other for a very long time. Fabian, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience, to the community, and let them know a little bit about yourselves and the content that you enjoy the most?
Yeah, thanks, Grim. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so I've been playing Raid off and on since 2021. I took about a 2-year break up until about a year ago, and so got back into the game. When I first left, Hydra had just come out, and then took 2 years off, and I came back, and it was a big confusing mess, and started watching your videos on Hydra, and got a Hydra takeover from you, and learned a bunch about Hydra. Spent the last year learning a ton, and now I'm doing the big boy keys, as you put it. So really have enjoyed that, and have enjoyed your arena and Hydra content for a while. So appreciate all that you do, and thanks for having me on.
Mm.
Yeah, and I've been really enjoying the records Discord. Really got into that, and when the Calamitous buff came out, Calamitous was my first mythical champion, so I tried to set a record, set it, and then within a few hours it was broken by Chicken Noodle from SP. She's a driver there, and then when they announced the Ashnar buff, I figured I'd give him a test since I had pulled him and had never used him, so I tested him before and after the buff, and
Mm.
um, so very happy to share that it's probably the biggest Hydra related buff ever. So hoping that this video can reach people and show them the ways of the worldwide Church of Ashnar, as I call it.
Is Ashna becoming like one of your favorite champions right now, or
Yeah,
anything like that?
yeah, I really enjoyed these runs. He makes Hydra a lot easier while also dealing a ton of damage. He's crazy damage everywhere now. I was able to hit the cap in Demon Lord Clan Boss, so 2.14 billion. It stops counting up after that, so
Mm.
hit that cap as well. And testing him out in Chimera, I'm not entirely sure if ignore defense is slightly bugged in Chimera because it doesn't seem to be working correctly.
Mm.
But I've been trying to test him out. He deals around the same as Ninja in Chimera, but I feel he should be dealing more
Yeah.
based off of how much defense he ignores.
I think there's still a lot about Chimera that we don't understand in general, and I do feel like there's a lot of things bugging in Chimera that maybe player are not aware, or that are aware, but because no one's bringed it up, that um
Yeah.
that we can prove it or not. Like I've done some testing with like Carnage and stuff like that. He ignores like a ton of defense, and if you read his kit, you should
Mhm.
scale up in that ignore defense area, and he doesn't seem to scale up after so many stuff. So I don't know why that's going on but that could be a
Yeah.
question for Plarium, and maybe we'll do some testing and stuff behind script scenes to try and increase that somehow. Anyway, so we've got the
Yeah.
comp on the screen. So Fabian's going to go through all 6 champions. Obviously, Ashma is going to be a champion in there you're going to definitely have, because he is the big boy damage dealer. And he's just going to explain the roles of the team and what abilities he likes to do. And then we'll do the run throughout the run. We'll start off with do like the first 10 minutes or 5 minutes for you guys. We don't want to make this video too long because we do want to show the builds and give some tips and tricks, etc. So Phoebe's going to go through
Mhm.
all this, and then we'll talk about some ideal replacements that we can use, and then we'll go through the setup, what things you can do and not do, and then we'll take it from there with like the gear and etc. and then play the run on auto. This auto run was done by me, so it's not perfect. Fabian was, let me know what to do on the run, and we'll showcase in a second. And also we'll put it on a good 10x speed, so you can slow it down in the settings down below. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy this type of content, and let you know your personal thoughts about Astronaut buff as well. Me and Fabian will be reading comments, and we'd like to see what you guys think as well. So over to you, Fabian, if you want to explain the champion roles and why you like these
Mhm.
champions or why you use them.
Yeah, so of course, Ashnar is the star of the show. So not replaceable in this exact comp, but you can use another damage dealer in his spot. But he brings the provoke as well, which is very nice that he has utility as well as damage. And so you can't quite just slot like Ninja in this comp or something like that to replace him. But you can play around a bit with it to get a damage dealer other than him in something like this. But Ashnar, his A1 can hit up to 4 times, and it has crazy scaling. When there's a burn on, it's ignoring 75% of defense. So um, that bringing in Teox and Mad Hatter helps a ton. So um, his passive gives 20% ignore defense when there's a burn. He's got 35% ignore defense in his gear from Merciless, and then 20% ignore defense from area bonuses. His A1 will ignore 75% of defense unless there's a Helm Smasher proc, and then it's pure damage, ignoring 100%. His A2 will be ignoring 95% of defense, or 100 if you get Helm Smasher proc. And then A3 will ignore 75, just like the A1. So um, he basically is ignoring all defense, especially if he gets that Helm Smasher proc, is really why he does so well. With the buff, they also added that when he places burns in his main form before switching to alternate form, he gets permanent increase defense and increase crit damage, which obviously increases his damage overall, which is really nice.
Yeah, he's got like the perfect kit really. He's got the spread on the A2, increased defense, increased critical damage, the provoke for 2 turns, and then defense down on the 1 turn. It's a pretty disgusting kit, honestly. So let's go into the other areas. So we have Leo and etc.
Yeah, so Androc, the lion here, and
That's it, yeah. Androc, not Leo.
one, yeah, he brings a defense aura, which is really helpful. But mainly he's in here for his passive as well as the survivability that he gives to the team. So he's able to give turn meter to the team anytime there's a crit, and most of the team is in full crit rate. And so that gives a lot of turn meter, so that you're really just cycling through your abilities faster than the Hydra can go. But he also brings on his A3 strengthen and increased resistance and continuous heal. So the strengthen and continuous heal keeps the team alive through everything. Strengthen really helps against Wrath whenever he gets his big hit off when he gets angry. And then the A2 extends buffs and heals. So he's kind of a buff extender and keeps the team alive and then gives turn meter. He can be replaced by any other champion that keeps the team alive, either through continuous heals or things like that. So I think Mikage could go in here as a buff extender, but I think Padrig would probably be better. Padrig would be able to give the continuous heals when he does the ally attack, but that does bring in one more ally attack to kind of abuse the great A1s from Ashnar. So I'd probably replace with Padrig if you don't have Androc. You could also consider anyone else who brings strengthen to the team. Would also help here. So
Yeah. And then Manhattan, the same kind of champions.
yeah, Mad Hatter and Teox kind of the same role here. They bring Ashnar into attacks. So Mad Hatter does it on his A2, whereas Teox does it on his A1.
Yeah.
And Mad Hatter also brings weaken, so that helps with extra damage.
It's worth noting as well with Mad Hatter that you would need to have Ashnod the highest critical damage, so he teams up with that as to someone to try and take a note to benefit from that A1. For Teox isn't really a replacement, right?
No, not to get this kind of damage. Teox is pretty necessary, but if you're just trying to build a team, you're not going for 1.5 billion, but you're looking at like 800 million, a little over 1 billion. You can replace them with just an ally attack, like Mikage or Padraig or anything like that. But the Teox, this whole run, you don't use anything other than the A1.
Yeah.
So he has great damage, but we actually built him with no damage, just enough crit rate to always crit, so 100% crit rate, but no crit damage, no attack. So he's not killing the heads or dealing too much damage to the heads. So that Ashnar gets more of his multi-attacks off, since Plarium changed the way that multi-attacks work in Hydra, that you can't over multi-attack a decap head.
Yep. And then for this guy, I think is unreplaceable really, because he's got the damage increase from the passive, and he's also got a block boss. So I guess any champion with a block boss would be the main mechanic, and then the bonus damage would be the bonus, right?
Yeah, so he also brings the Veil for the Torment head. So really, I think the only replacement for him would be to Hanorok, who also can cleanse Torment and place the block buffs.
Yep.
But definitely he's the best for what he brings, by bringing both block buffs and Veil. And his passive for the damage, but also his passive helps with the stats that you need for resistance and accuracy. So
yeah, it's true.
that makes it easier to build the stats and not worry about mischief.
And then Mishi, you did mention like one replacement. So Mishi, you're
Yeah,
mainly
so
gone.
Mishi is interesting because we're bringing him because he has an A1 burn. He also has other utility in the kit, of course, but 60% chance to burn on the A1. So there's no cooldown to it. Whereas most burners have a 4 or 3 turn cooldown on their burn. I was actually surprised most have 4, it seems. But there are a few with a 3 turn cooldown on the burn. But you're cycling through your attacks so fast that you want to get the burn up right away every time. Yeah. And so the A1 burn is really how you get the massive damage here. So another A1 burner is Elenarl, the high elf, who's mostly known for being a poison exploder, but she also has an irresistible A1 burn, 100% chance. So she would be very good here as well. But Mishi brings a bit more utility with the A3 being able to put Hex onto Head of Mischief so you can target it, as well as just having more debuffs here. I have him in feral gear to deal more. You're primarily just going to A1 most of the time, but there are times that you'll A3 or A2 to get more debuffs up.
I was playing this as well throughout the run, and he's also got a passive where you'll join a counter attack to put out HP burns. He's got a 6% chance. I think this could be increased with snipe, right, on the mastery to 65.
Yeah.
So you can get a little bit more from that as well. So
Can't recall if actually I have it or not.
We've gone through all the champions. Now we're going to go through the run. We're going to play the run a little bit on screen, so Fabian can talk you through what he's thinking, what he's doing, and then we'll show you all the gear and etc. after we play the full run on auto, so you guys can watch it. And then we're going to show you a couple of screenshots before and after, timestamps down below in the description as well. Right, okay, so this is the team. We're going to showcase the team in action. We don't need to hear no French from Mr. Grim. So let's run this. And we are on a slow speed right now. We will speed this up through the run. We just want to make sure that you guys have a good understanding of running this team, or like copying it to whatever reason they want to do it or etc. I know some people find this stuff fun. So it's going to be a bit slow because obviously Fabian explained to me what's going on. I'm going to give this over to Fabian as he's watching it, and he's going to let you know what's going to go on in the team.
Yeah, so with Teox, every single hit you're just going to A1, and Ashnar will join in because he has the highest crit damage. To start off, we're going to put up our buffs. We will get back in time to do the block buffs before anyone takes a turn, so no worries about the poison cloud or anything like that. So Androc puts up his buffs as well, and then Hatter is going to extend the buffs. We don't want to use his A2 yet because we want Ashnar to place the weekend himself to get the max stats on the coronet. So Mishi here, we just do Hex, so that way Mischief can be targeted, and now Ashnar uses his A3 in his base form. The A3 will put up weaken and HP burn, and importantly, it stacks his passive. So here he puts 6 burns out on your team plus 4 on the Hydra, so he gets all 10 of the stacks. And then now we just attack Mischief. And so we want to kill Mischief quickly. That will reduce the turn meter of all the heads here, and then we just get into the run from there. So we do block buffs. Basically, the only slightly worrisome thing to the team is Wrath. Wrath and Suffering have reflect damage, and so it's important to get block buffs onto them. But the really nice thing about Ashnar is that he is able to spread debuffs with his A2 and his alt form, and so whenever firrol weak hits Wrath with his block buffs debuff, you actually can spread it onto him. So it's a lot less worrisome than like if you're running a ninja comp where if you lose control of Wrath, you end the run because unfortunately there's no reviver in this comp. But thankfully Ashnar just feels a ton safer than any of the major damage dealers. So now we flip into alt form on Ashnar, and we stay in alt form the rest of it. You start off with A3 just to get his increased crit damage and increased defense, and then you've got buff extenders that will keep that on him for most of the run, and then occasionally you'll have to re-up it. You save that A3 for any time decay is up, or if you're about to run out of increased crit damage.
Yeah, it's worth noting, like as well, like we try to always hit the decapitated heads as well all the time to try and get that big damage, to try and get Ashnar's A1 in much as possible with ally attacks. That's one thing that I learned as well. I can say from personal experience of running high damage teams in the past, like Trunders and etc., this was quite easy to run compared to most RNG teams that are high damage. Normally, high damage teams are like super RNG. This one was absolutely pretty relaxed. Like we did this first time, so it wasn't so much of a problem to run compared to other teams. So that was pretty nice to see. If you got the champions to do it, obviously, if you're starting to talk about replacements, it's going to get a little bit harder to run, and etc. But you can see here, like we're not worrying about the provokes or anything like that. Poison clouds, everything is counted in this team pretty well, and it's actually quite a well built team as well. I wouldn't even class this as a cheese team actually. Like normally the high damage teams are classed as cheese, and what I mean by cheese for anyone in the audience is basically not using the right mechanics that players were to intend, and that is what the difference with a cheese is, right? So yeah, if you don't want to run a Trunder, I would rather run this all day longer than that. So you can see he is going to do like the debuff spread there to make sure he gets all the burns out, etc. You can need to be a little bit careful, weak hits and some bits and bobs like that as well. And then you try and do A1 on the burns, on the decapitated heads as well, so we can get maximum damage for Ashna, if I'm not mistaken there. So we should do the A1 on that blue head there. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, it's Wrath, right? and then increase our buffs, etc. So we still can get more damage. Is there anything that I missed there?
Yeah, exactly. You covered it well. Yeah, so Mishi will almost always A1, and you try to A1 the targets, especially decapitated heads that are favorable uh, affinity to Mishi, and then Ashnar will just follow up and kill them really easily. So and Teox just A1s the whole game, just bringing Ashnar into the fight, and he just can pretty easily kill the decap heads. So focus decap heads. Every time decay is up, provoke him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Make sure block buffs hits suffering and wrath, and if it doesn't, you can spread it with Ashnar, and there will be several times where um, you'll be trying to get there'll be a burn on a head, and your A2 comes up with Ashnar, and the whole goal is to spread it from that head to the rest. So that's why it's okay to have a single target burner like Mishi.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're attacking a head with Serpent's Will and the first hit deals no damage, it's still good to spread the burns that way. And then, as you were saying, Grim, the one drawback of the spread is if the initial hit weak hits, it will not spread. So this rotation that we have is a very good Ashnar rotation. There's only one head that's green, and that's the Fearhead Torment. And so if you're trying to spread from him, there's a 33% chance that it won't spread. But everyone else, it's just an accuracy check. So
Yeah.
as long as you don't get 3%, you can spread it from there.
Yeah, I mean, we did get a couple of 3% in the run, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's about it to add for the run. It's worth noting as well, like you want to use a single burn champion, right? So you can spread it with Ashnar. It's very important that Ashnar spreads it, and we don't do it AOE hate your burn. Does that do something for his damage or?
No, you can AoE HP burn. The reason why like I suggest Mishi or Elenarl is because it's on the A1, so there's no cooldown to it. That way you can just keep burning every turn. If you recall, once we get later on in the run, we're pretty much just outpacing the heads so quickly.
Mhm.
And you want to make sure that you're keeping those burns up so that you can just constantly kill all the heads.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great look, really. What you want to see, right? We got plenty of buffs on all the heads. We were talking actually, we were saying about the Devour. Like, it's really disappointing with the Devour a little bit because if there wasn't no Serpent's Wheels right now, we would
Yeah.
potentially be doing like nearly, well, way more than Toshi teams before the nerf,
Hmm.
etc. I think the only one who would have caused a problem was Trunda. Really, still, I think Trunda still would have done more damage than this, especially
Yeah.
on the high end accounts. But that's something difficult. Apparently, they're hard to build, so um, that's something to
Yeah.
take into consideration. I think that's it for the run. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna play the run on 2x or 10x speed, whatever's easier. If you want to slow it down, you can in the YouTube settings. And also, I'm pretty sure Fabian's available in my Discord as well, or the world records. Uh, the world records. What is it? Is it Sam? Sam? What's the last name?
Yeah. Sam Solstice runs the record Discord. Yeah, big shout out to her. It's
Yeah.
been um, really great Discord community, and she also has really funny videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I will post her Discord link down in the description as well for today's video, and also her YouTube channel. Go ahead and give her a follow. Her videos are very entertaining. Everyone loves them. And so, yeah, let's play the full run, enjoy the music, and then we will see you all on the builds.
In the shadows he arises, silent and cold. A legend of power, a story untold. Grim Reaper, the name that they fear, dominating the arena year after year. In Raidshadowlegends, he makes his mark, a warrior of darkness, igniting the spark. With every swipe, the enemies fall. No one escapes his relentless call. In the live arena, Grim takes the control. A force of nature, he won't back down his account. A fortress of endless might, the best account takeovers. He fixes in the night, no need to grind, no need to wait. Grim's ascendant, sealed his fate. A legend forged in the heat of the game. With each victory they whisper his name. Grim Reaper, his power untold. A king of the arena, fearless and bold. Enemies quake when they see his rise. For Grim's the storm that no one denies. In Raidshadowlegends, he stands alone. The Reaper's grit carved in stone. Yo! The name that they fear, dominating the arena year after year. In Raidshadowlegends, he makes his mark. A warrior of darkness, igniting the spark. With every swipe, the enemies fall. No one escapes his relentless call. In the live arena, Grim takes the control. A force of nature, he won't back down his account. A fortress of endless might, the best account takeovers. He fixes in the night, no need to grind, no need to wait. Grim's ascended, sealed his fate. A legend forged in the heat of the game. With each victory they whisper his name. Grim Reaper, his power untold. A king of the arena, fearless and bold. Enemies quake when they see his rise. For Grim's the storm that no one denies. In Raidshadowlegends, he stands alone. The Reaper's grit carved in stone. Whoa. Grim Reaper, his power untold. A king of the arena, fearless and bold.
Right, so this is the damage that we've got. I did stop it early because it was very long already. So we just stopped it early just so we didn't make the video too long. It's already a long video and I don't want to try and make this too long, but we want to make sure we do not miss any information. I think that's really important. There's nothing much more frustrating than watching a video or a long video and then missing like one or two key points. So we do want to make this very informative as possible. This is the damage that we got on the run I did. So even as a noob myself, who's never run this team, I feel like we did okay. There was a lot of mistakes in there that I did make because we had the delay on Discord and stuff like that. So this is the full record at the moment that we've got for the full damage. So this is the after the buff, and then this one is before the buff, right? So there's a couple of champions that are a little bit different in here, and then obviously Fabian's done testing and trying, etc. as well. And then this is Plan Boss as well, so you can also see that it's also disgusting damage in Clan Boss teams with weeks. Well, is this the world record as well for the Clan Boss team?
It's sixth now.
The sixth.
I think when I got it, I was fourth, and then two people have passed me. The record is with Senna, and unfortunately, you weren't able to pull me at Senna earlier this week. But Senna makes it so that you can just lap the clan boss, and I think the record. The Demon Lord only took 40 turns, but here he took close to 100. So not quite the ridiculousness of Senna, but Ashnar damage is just insane. So.
I just noticed as well. It's crazy how they didn't change Clan Boss to 1000. So yeah, it's like Hydra's 1000, and Clan Boss is 0.5. By the way, Raid, don't change that, please. Like, it's fine. Leave it alone. Right? We're not asking for it to be nerd or anything. Right, so let's go show all the builds and everything now on the account, and then we're going to wrap up the video there as well.
Oh,
right, so
no Grim here.
Yeah, no Grim today, not on this one. This is Fabian's team, so he's taking over the channel for all the builds, so you'll hear me in the background. But basically, I don't want to cover any of the stats, right? Like, this is Fabian's team, this is Fabian's limelight. So we're going to go through all the stats, and I'm just going to press buttons. So we'll start off with Ashna. So we'll go to form 2 as well. Make sure we're going to alt form, and we're going to tick onto the hydra. So if you want to talk through the stats, Fabian, it's over to you.
Great, thanks, Grim. Yeah, so there's actually quite a bit of improvement that Ashnar can have. I don't have the greatest orc merciless gear, but in his alt form and hydra battles, I'm at around 6.5k defense, running close to 250 speed, around 360 crit damage, and I have the area bonus for 20% ignore defense and hydra. So my area bonuses aren't maxed, so you could get some more defense and speed out of it, but still decent stats, but not as crazy as you would think with the numbers he's putting up. As you can see, there's attack on the amulet and the banner, but the other stats, the other pieces are pretty good. The boots have the wrong ascension. I think the entire top is the wrong ascension also. I am really bad at getting oil to work. But he's got the coronet, so that's a huge part of the damage. And the gemstones, everyone wherever there's a circle has the this invigorated, which gives turn meter increase effects are 10% more effective on the wearer. That's really good with Androc's passive. And then the other one makes multi-hits deal more damage. And so each one will deal 3% more. And so with a quad hit, you're doing 3% and then 6% and 9% with the final hit is my understanding of it. So Blessing is Nature's Wrath. So basically the same as Coronet, you stack up extra damage based off the number of debuffs you place. So he stacks up Nature's Wrath and Coronet with his A3 before he gets into his alt form. And then he's dealing max damage. For the masteries, we go for Helm Smasher. we also take the cycle of violence in order to get back to his provoke and his spread more often, because he's obviously dealing more than the 30% of their max HP with his hits. We also take Sniper. My understanding is Sniper, even though it says debuffs, applies to like any effect, and so I think it makes it 5% more likely that he will multi-hit his A1, since it's a percent chance that each will repeat. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know, but that's why I take Sniper and Master Hexer, so he can place longer burns and whatnot. And yeah, so that's the Ashnar. Definitely with better gear could probably get him to 375 crit damage and 7k defense and deal even more damage. But Androc is in protection set, and so he's placing 3 buffs on his A3, and he can also overplace the continuous heals. So that gives 15, 20, 25, depending on how many buffs you get up at a time, extra damage. So he's running pretty fast at 325 speed. Basically, the rest of his stats don't really matter because he's just in there to place buffs. So that's the protection set. Ideally, he would have 100% crit rate to proc his own passive, but I didn't want to give him my very best protection gear because then I'd have to take it off of Arbaeus from my arena team. So he's got Journal of Necrotos, which makes his passive turn meter increase 15% more effective, and then since everyone has the Invigorate, it's 10% more effective on top of that. And then he's got Cruelty, he's got AoE on the A2 to spread Cruelty, and then also you get an A1 to just decrease some defense before Ashnar hits. And he's got War Master just to deal a little bit more damage, and then Lasting Gifts. So his
Sorry, I just trying to show the masteries there.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, so War Master and Lasting Gifts. Lasting Gifts to make his A3 buffs last a bit longer.
All right, and then we'll go to build number 3, which would be
Teox or Michinaki right here. Yeah.
It's when the Brave Freeze come in. So, yep, let you talk through this one as well.
Yeah, so Teox is interesting. So he's got nearly 370 speed in Hydra battles. He's in Relentless. So he's a support Teox. You can see he's got over 100% crit rate, but really low attack, really low crit damage. Only 230 crit damage and 4,500 attack. I used to build Teox with Crushing Rend and 400 crit damage, but you actually don't want him dealing all that much damage so that Ashnar gets more hits on the heads. And so he's in Relentless and then some other gear just to go fast. And then he's got Scroll Down Scene. That's not important. It's more so that I want 2 spots, 2 circles to give Invigorate, so that way he really gets turn meter from Androc to just A1 and A1 over and over. And he's got 6-star Cruelty, so that way he hits twice with his A1 to reduce defense twice, and then Androc gets to hit from there. And then masteries don't really matter on him. I just kept what I had before, which is Helm Smasher. Theoretically, you actually shouldn't have Helm Smasher, so he doesn't deal too much damage. So that way Ashnar can get more hits. And the next would be Michinaki. So Michinaki is in Firrol. This way he adds a bit of damage to Ashnar. Similarly, he's got enough crit rate to always crit for Androc bracket and Androc passive, but not a ton of damage otherwise. Less than 4k defense, and crit damage is less than 300. It's a little high, but it's not too high. So
One piece for to
just
increase
barrel.
the damage.
Yeah, and then he's got again the two invigorates, so that he goes faster to get more burns up. And then cruelty as well. Rather, my first run of it, I kept Nature's Wrath, but then I decided that cruelty just to go before Ashnar gets a bit more damage out of him. And then similarly, he just has what I would normally put on him, which is Helm Smasher, but theoretically you shouldn't have the damage on him, so that way Ashnar deals more damage. But you do want enough damage on Mishi to be able to get Ashnar out of the Devour. With how fast the team goes, he'll only get devoured twice. And so the first one's really easy. It's you have 5 turns to get him out, so it's not a big deal. But later, it gets big, and 2 turns to get him out. So you want a little bit of damage on Mishi to get him out, since he deals the most out of everyone else in the comp.
And we've got Mad Hatter, our friend
Yep,
Mad Hatter. You love Mad Hatter, don't you?
Yeah, we had a bit of a dispute in Discord at the start of his fusion, where I said he was S tier, and you said you thought he was B tier, and that we'd average on an A tier. But I still stand by he's S tier, at least in PVE. Especially Hydra is just every team I make he's in, other than Trunda teams. His A2 to bring in an ally attack is huge. Deals a ton of damage.
He's really good in Chimera as well. Really good in Chimera. Right, so yeah, we're focusing on the accuracy, ignore defense. What other stats are you focusing on here, Fabian?
Yeah, so he's got pretty decent speed, 289, and so you get his speed up high, get his accuracy enough to always land. So, and then you don't care too much about the other stats. He's in reflex and merciless, so that he can get his A2 as often as possible. Excuse me.
Then we're going to use Book of Journals to increase the turn meter for the A3, because we want him to cycle through his abilities more. Use a gemstone as well. And then for, again, cruelty for the masteries. So we can stack that ignore defense, so we can do more damage with Ashna, if I'm correct. And then for the masteries, you don't really need to run anything here, right? It's just a case of running Master Hex, so we can extend that Hex and weaken. So Ashna can do more damage, especially to Mischief. So he's not so much of a problem and up too long, especially with his passive ability. Snipe as well for that. I guess Snipe doesn't really do anything on his kit, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think it helps his debuff spread. I'm not 100% sure of that. I just know some things are helped by Sniper that may not be obvious. But on his A1 he can spread debuffs, which is also really helpful to get the burn and block buffs spread to everyone.
Yeah, and also with the reflection, right? Like if you're unlucky to get the reflection, he can also deal with the fears on the E3 as well. And then the reflection here, I use this in some other teams where I'll just mangle the A with the A1 just to get rid of the reflection, especially off suffering. It's just a pain in the bum. And yeah, so who's the 6th champion and who's the final champion?
Firrol. He's 6-star as well.
So it's hard to remember all the champions, but there's so much going on. So we have a 9-piece protection in here. Also these other stats. So over to you, Fabian.
Yeah, so similar to Hatter, get him fast with high accuracy. So he's at 324 speed. He's got 400 something accuracy, so he's able to land the debuffs very easily. And then you kind of just make him able to survive. So he's got decent defense, pretty poor health, but he survives well enough.
And then these are the pieces of gear. We'd like to show all the pieces of gear here. And then for the relic,
Yeah, that relic's kind of pointless. It's just I wanted a circle hole and didn't want to move too many things, so the circle is the invigorate, and I don't even know. I guess he gets extra healing on the other one, but and then intimidating presence. You want one champion, especially if you have someone with a 6-star. Get 1 6-star intimidating presence really helps the aura, so that increases Androc's defense aura. And then War Master on him, and Lasting Gifts is the important one here, as well as Master Hexer. So
Law Steel, Cyclomantic as well. They're going to be important masteries to take from this as well as a little bit of Life Drinkers, not too much as well. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if you can get sniping as well for that E1, but it's not going to be doable. So I guess that's it for the builds and everything from here. Me and Fabian have had a very long day trying to record this. You'll be surprised like how much work goes into a video this long. So we finished streaming last night around about 6 a.m. in my time. We recorded the run, and that obviously took 2 hours. And now it is, I went to sleep for a bit, and now it's 1 a.m. for Fabian, nearly 2 a.m. for Fabian, and it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon for me. So this has put a lot of work in. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Do you want to give anything else for the video before we wrap up today, Fabian?
yeah, thanks for having me, Grim. It's really fun to join in on one of your videos after I've been in the community for so long. So really appreciate you having me on, and hopefully we can spread the word that Ashnar is the new best Hydra champion, other than Trunda, of course. But the worldwide Church of Ashnar is accepting any and all new believers. So thanks for having me.
It's worth noting as well, like in my Discord group, you know, if you're looking for some help and a farmer unavailable for whatever reason, my Discord link is down below, and Fabian is an advisor in my Discord group, so you can do !@advisor. That will tag me, Fabian, and a few others that will help you in any type of content that you are looking for help in, not just Hydra. We are quite flexible overall in the community, and we're here to help, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're early game player, mid game player, late game player, we are here to help. There is ways for us to help you. We can give you advice and stuff like that. So if you are struggling within a game, try not to get frustrated, reach out for some help. We don't charge for our time or anything like that. So we are generally, and come and hang out in the Twitch streams as well. Like Twitch I'm streaming 5 days a week. Fabian's in the streams quite regularly as well. And we're always having a bit of fun in there. A lot of banter going on. There'll be a lot of live arena. Sometimes you'll see me and Fabian match up in live arena. I think I'm 2-0, right? On live
I
arena.
think 3-0.
3-0.
3. I think, yeah.
I had to get that in.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a brilliant video. It's definitely something different we bring onto the channel. We'll probably try and do this more in the future. And yeah, thank you for taking your time to do today's video. And as usual, guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It's been really a lot of effort into this one. And hopefully you enjoyed it. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.